Hey guys, this week we'll be revisiting an old video of ours about how to record an acoustic guitar. We'll also answer a viewer's question about what our favorite piece of studio equipment is. And lastly, I'll take you into Pro Tools and show you how to create auxiliary tracks in your Pro Tools session. All that's coming up this week on episode 77 of Limitless Studios TV.
Alright guys, this week we are going to be revisiting our acoustic guitar recording video. That was a very long time ago when we did that. And this week hopefully we will answer a lot of people's questions that we left out of the first one.
Yeah, our first one wasn't very long, so we got a lot of questions about it, so we're going to try to answer some of those. Some of the things you're going to want to have and do before you get started recording acoustic guitar is, first of all, make sure you have a pretty decent guitar. Something with some kind of solid top. We've had good experiences with Taylor and Martin acoustics. Those have worked really well for us in the past. The guitar should of course be in tune also. That should be fairly obvious, but you'd be surprised how many times people forget that, especially guitar players. You want to have a clean guitar player, so you want to try to eliminate all the fret buzz and string noises as possible, because it's pretty impossible to remove those in post-production. And then lastly, of course, you'll want some kind of mic of your choice. We prefer condenser mics for acoustics, but you can also use dynamics as long as you have a fairly clean preamp at high gain. The mic we use currently is the Studio Project V1, and that's worked really well for us so far. Small diaphragm condensers will give you a more natural overall sound, and large diaphragm condenser mics tend to have a kind of a boost in the highs and the lows, but it's really up to your preference.
Yeah, try all different kinds,
Yep.
if you can get your hands on them. So we have some sort of general techniques that we found while experimenting with recording acoustic guitar. The farther away that you place the mic, you're going to get more room sound. You're going to get a larger ambience, because the farther away you place the mic, obviously you're going to turn the gain up a little bit. Going to get some more room noise, and that could be good if your room is nice and you need a more ambient sound for your acoustic guitar. If you get too close to the sound hole, you're going to start getting some seriously bad low frequencies. It's going to be very boomy, and you're going to end up having to cut an enormous amount of frequency out in post-production, and then you're also going to lose a lot of frequencies that are good in order to get rid of that boomy sound. One mic position that's actually pretty cool that we've used and tried is over the shoulder, and that can actually give you a really natural sound, because the mic is right next to where you're hearing the acoustic guitar. It's going to be right next to your ear. And so if you really like your position that you're in and what you're hearing, try it over the shoulder, and that'll give you basically what you're hearing while you're playing. And then obviously when you move the mic up the fretboard towards the headstock, you're going to get a thinner sound, because the sound hole is what creates the lower end frequencies of the acoustic guitar. And then a good starting point to place your mic is between the 12th and 16th fret, about around a foot away or so. If you have a small diaphragm condenser microphone, I'd recommend more like 4 inches away. That's worked really well, because you don't have to worry too much about the low end from the small diaphragm condensers.
Yeah, and a good little mic technique to find the mic position is just moving the mic around handheld around the acoustic guitar while someone else is playing, and listening inside of monitors of some kind or headphones, and that you can get a general idea of what your acoustic sounds like after it's going through all your mic and processing and everything like that. And we've actually prepared a video clip of us moving the mic around the acoustic guitar, so you can kind of hear the differences between each of these positions, and kind of hear these basic general ideas that we just talked about.
So once you've found your position by hand-holding the mic around, you're going to want to, hopefully you've got somebody there that can help you set the mic stand up, and you're going to want to place that mic stand in the exact position that you're holding the mic. So once you've done that, you've got everything set up to record, you're going to want to remember to double track your acoustic guitar. Sometimes people don't recommend this, but we do because it gives you a much wider sound, even in acoustic guitars. So put your vocals in the center, put your bass in the center, put your snare drum in the center. That way not everything's clashing in your center of your audio track. And we've actually prepared a sound clip with video here it's actually 3 different tracks. We've got one panned all the way to the right, one panned all the way to the left, and then a little solo that's panned in the center. So let's check that out.
Alright, so now we're going to go into our viewer question, and this week happens to be a fairly interesting one. And that is, what is our favorite piece of studio gear? And my favorite piece of studio gear, as you probably all know, is the reamp box. The reason I like reamping is because you can record your DI tracks at one point in time. It doesn't even have to be the same day as you're recording the guitar amp. And then you can send that DI track back to your amp and record that signal, and this can be really useful for finding tones, or if you don't have the opportunity to record loud guitars at one time of the day or something like that, you can record your DI tracks and then reamp. Other uses, you can use it to figure out what knobs do what on your guitar amps. You can go back and listen to your reamps and see if you like them or whatever. But it's a really good piece of gear to have, and pretty much any studio should have one.
Yeah, extremely non-destructive way to record guitar. My piece of gear is going to be my electronic drum kit. Some of you may have seen the video on how to hook that up to Superior Drummer. That's in our archive somewhere. And it's actually a Yamaha DTX Express 3 Special, I think is the whole name for it. But the reason I really like an electronic drum kit over miking an entire acoustic kit is, one, it's much quieter. So you can record drums pretty much any time of the day, not just in the middle of the day when you're not going to wake anyone up in the neighborhood. And also because miking a acoustic drum kit is extremely difficult to do. You have to have an extremely nice drum kit, really nice cymbals, really nice mics, and most of all, you're going to have a really nice room to record all of those drums in. And with an electronic kit, make sure your electronic kit has MIDI capability though, because what I do is run the MIDI cable out of the DTX module into my Fast Track Pro, and then that runs into either Superior Drummer or Stephen Slade drums. And the same sort of idea with the reamp box. It's extremely non-destructive. You can go back, change all your tones of your drums through different software, and all those MIDI tracks that you played already are already tracked. So you can change the sound of all your hits without having to go and replay if you have some perfect performance. You don't have to go back and re-record everything to find a new tone. So that's the reason that I really enjoy my electronic drum kit.
Alright, so here we are inside of Pro Tools, and today I'm going to show you how to use and create aux tracks in your Pro Tools sessions. And what these aux tracks are going to allow us to do is send multiple tracks, or channels if you will, to, in a way, mix down to a single aux track, either stereo or mono, doesn't matter which one. And then you can apply effects which will also modify the sound of all the channels that you sent to that aux track. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this, so hopefully you can get a better idea of what this will allow you to do in your Pro Tools sessions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Track, and then we're going to go to New. We're going to create a new aux track, and in this case I'm going to do a stereo one because we're dealing with two guitars, and these are rhythm guitars. They're panned left and right, so I'm going to deal with a stereo track here, and then I'm going to go ahead and click Samples. I'm only going to create one for this demonstration, but you can create however many Pro Tools will allow. I think it's 32. So go ahead and click the Create button, and then as you can see it added a aux track down here. And we're just going to go ahead and name this Rhythm Guitars. Click OK. And we're going to give this aux track an input, and in this case we're going to give it the input of bus 31 and 32. Now this is going to be important to know when you are going to send these tracks to this bus, okay? So to send those tracks to the bus, we're going to go ahead and click here, and you can either send the output to bus 32 on its own, or you could also do both of them like this, and then hit Option Shift on Mac or Alt Shift on PC, then click the output button here, go to bus 32, and as you can see it sent both of those at the same time to bus 31 and 32. So now if we play this, we should have both of these tracks sending down to this stereo aux track right here. So let's go ahead and make sure that's working. And as you can see, the level's going through here, so it's working just fine. So now you can add effects onto this to change both of these channels. But for today, that's how you create and use aux tracks in your Pro Tools session. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.